Thanks.
Taoiseach, you say that the marriage bill will be ready or will be enacted before the summer recess, which means it will be done before the end of July. And, this is a very, very tight time scale for this. I think we all celebrate very, very much the compassionate decision that was taken in the referendum in favour of equality and inclusivity. But can you give a complete assurance that this bill will be published before the recess? And also, can I just say, John Cordia, we can't have an a la carte attitude to equality. All government decisions need to be equality-proofed, economic decisions, and particularly funding should be restored to NGOs and agencies charged with tackling inequality. On my second question, John Cordia, in the programme for government and in the statement of government priorities last year, the government affirmed its support for the full implementation of all aspects of the Good Friday Agreement and subsequent agreements. Now, as the Taoiseach is aware, there are significant elements of the various agreements which have not been implemented, including the introduction of a Bill of Rights, Act na Gaeilge, and so on. And the British government has also threatened to scrap the Human Rights Act, which is an integral part of the Good Friday Agreement. And today we know that the Assembly at Stormont is debating the so-called Welfare Reform Bill. And,
Sorry, we're on the order of business here.
Sure, but what I'm putting to the Taoiseach is that there is huge pressures on the institutions in the North, not solely about the threatened cuts to welfare payments, but from the Tory government's planned cuts to the budget. So Taoiseach, as co-equal guarantor of the Good Friday Agreement, has the government raised these issues, these concerns with the British government? And will you...
Not the order of business, I'm afraid.
Will you engage directly with the British Prime Minister and remind him that the Good Friday Agreement is a binding international treaty and that the commitments entered into it must be implemented?
We expect that the Marriage Equality Bill, Deputy, will be enacted here in the House by the 16th of July. I think that's the date that's maybe the week before the House is due to rise. Yes, I'm going to meet with the British Prime Minister before the next European Council meeting. I mentioned this to him when I rang him to congratulate him on being re-elected as Prime Minister. This is an issue, and this country, this government here, has co-guarantorship of the Good Friday Agreement, as Deputy Adams is well aware. And the human rights issue is an international treaty, as is the Good Friday Agreement. So that's an issue that I will raise with the British Prime Minister. And I suppose, in fairness, the other points that you mentioned there about Act na Gaeilge and the Bill of Rights and so on, obviously the focus of the government in Great Britain was clearly focused on the election. Now the Prime Minister has a single-party government with a majority, and I'll be happy to take up these matters with him again, that the agreement should be implemented in full. I do hope that the discussions that take place today on the welfare issue, this is an issue of great importance, and Minister Flanagan has been in constant contact with the Secretary of State and with the Deputy First Minister in Stormont. When I'm on my feet, I want to wish the First Minister well in his recovery. I understand he was brought to hospital with a condition, and I hope that that's treated and that he makes a full recovery. Concordia.
Deputy Healy-Rae.
Thank you very much, Count Caller. Taoiseach, outside of being